Have you ever whispered a prayer into the dark and wondered if heaven even heard you? You waited, but nothing moved. No sign, no shift. Only silence so heavy it felt like God had stepped away. But what if the silence wasn't absence? What if the quiet was the sound of heaven working in ways you couldn't see? Because there are prayers, 7 of them, that God never ignores. Not because we pray perfectly, but because these prayers touch the very heartbeat of who He is. When these words leave your lips, angels move, doors shift, truth rises, and destinies realign. Even if you don't recognize the answer yet, tonight, if you've prayed and felt nothing, lean in. Heaven may already be responding. There are 7 prayers God always answers, even when you don't notice. Prayer 1. Make me more like you. There is a prayer heaven never hesitates to answer, even though it is one of the hardest prayers a human soul can ever whisper. Lord, make me more like you. Most people think this prayer invites peace, blessing, and gentle spiritual growth. But becoming like Christ is not a soft journey. It is a holy undoing. Because before God can shape you, He must first break the version of you that life created. The guarded you, the wounded you, the prideful you, the fearful you, the you that learned to survive without trusting Him. He cannot breathe His likeness into a heart still full of itself. So when you pray, make me more like you, heaven begins a delicate divine work. Not loud, not rushed, but intentional, like a potter pressing his thumbs into clay, softening, stretching, reshaping everything that has hardened over the years. And at first it won't feel holy, it will feel uncomfortable. You may notice relationships shifting, opportunities changing, hidden fractures surfacing, things you depended on suddenly losing their power. Parts of your heart you ignored rising to the surface, not because God is punishing you, but because He is answering you. To become like Christ, you must walk the roads Christ walked. Roads of humility, roads of obedience, roads where pride dies, roads where self is surrendered. He teaches you patience by placing you in situations where you must wait. He teaches you compassion by letting you feel the weight of someone else's pain. He teaches you humility by revealing places where ego has quietly ruled. He teaches you forgiveness by putting faces before you that still make your hands shake. And while you're asking for transformation, God is asking a deeper question. Are you willing to let go of who you were to become who I designed you to be? Becoming like Him is not about perfection. It is about surrender. It is letting the Spirit peel away every layer that keeps you distant, every defense mechanism, every lie you believed about yourself, every scar you pretended didn't hurt. Some days the transformation feels invisible, slow, quiet, hidden. But heaven celebrates what you cannot see. The moments you chose grace instead of anger, the times you held your tongue, the nights you prayed when you didn't feel like praying, the battles inside you that no one else will ever know. This prayer is answered in fragments, in seasons, in ordinary moments where your heart suddenly shifts and you become softer, stronger, more anchored in Him. And one day, without realizing it, you begin to react differently, with gentleness where there once was bitterness, with peace where there once was panic, with trust where there once was fear. That is the likeness of Christ growing quietly inside you. He is not finished with you. He is forming you, pressing His fingerprints into your character until His reflection appears in your words, your choices, your love. And every time you whisper, Lord, make me more like you, heaven whispers back, I already am. Prayer 2. Reveal the truth. There is a reason this prayer, Lord, reveal the truth, is one heaven always answers. Because God is the God of light. And anywhere light enters, darkness loses its hiding place. But when you pray this prayer, you must be prepared for the way truth arrives. It rarely comes softly. Truth comes like a dawn breaking through a long night. Beautiful, but blinding. Most people think revelation is a warm feeling, a sudden clarity, a comforting whisper. But when God reveals truth, He exposes what you didn't want to see. Truth about people, truth about situations, truth about motives, truth about the path you're on, truth about yourself. It is the prayer that rearranges everything. You ask God to open your eyes, and He does. But open eyes see things that closed eyes never had to deal with. He may show you that a relationship you thought was healthy was actually draining your spirit. He may uncover a habit that is quietly poisoning your soul. He may reveal a lie you've been believing for years, one that shaped your choices, your fears, your identity. And sometimes the hardest truth is the truth about you. Your own pride, your hidden bitterness, your unhealed wounds, your need for control, your tendency to run instead of trust. Not because God wants to shame you, but because a heart that cannot face truth cannot walk in freedom. So He brings truth gently, but firmly, like a surgeon removing what is killing you, even if the incision stings. When you pray, Lord, reveal the truth, heaven sends light into 3 places. 1. Light into your surroundings. People's masks slip, motives become visible, fake pieces exposed. God reveals what is real. 2. Light into your path. Doors you were forcing begin to close. Red flags you ignored become undeniable. You suddenly see the difference between a good opportunity and a God opportunity. 3. Light into your soul. This is where the deepest revelation happens. God shows you why you react the way you do, why certain wounds still control you, why your heart shuts down or pushes people away. Truth always costs something. You cannot hold on to truth and hold on to illusions at the same time. But there is beauty in this process. Truth never comes to destroy you. Truth comes to free you. Jesus didn't say the truth would make you comfortable. He said the truth would make you free. Free from deception, free from harmful patterns, free from wrong people, free from the lies Satan whispered in your weakest moments, free from the lies you told yourself. When you pray, reveal the truth, you may cry, you may tremble, you may lose what you once held tightly to, but you will never lose God. Because every time you whisper, Lord, reveal the truth, heaven answers with light. Prayer 3. Break what breaks your heart. There is a prayer so dangerous, so transforming, that heaven responds the moment it is spoken. Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. This is not a prayer for the casual believer. It is not for those who want a safe, quiet Christianity. Because when you ask God to let you feel what He feels, you are inviting your heart into the deepest chambers of His own. And God's heart is a heart that weeps. When this prayer rises from your lips, He doesn't simply give you emotions, He gives you His burden. Suddenly, things that never mattered to you start to pull on your spirit. You begin to notice the pain hidden behind someone's smile, the loneliness in a person's eyes, the spiritual numbness in a friend who used to burn for God. Compassion you didn't know you had starts breaking through the cracks. Because God is answering you. He softens you. He interrupts you. He ruins your ability to walk past suffering without feeling something move inside you. The heart that once felt nothing now feels too much. You begin to grieve over the things heaven grieves over, the souls drifting into darkness, the families bleeding in silence, the sins that chain people to shame, the numbness that keeps hearts asleep, the injustice that crushes the weak. This is not human sensitivity. This is divine sensitivity, a heart awakened by God Himself. And at times it will feel overwhelming, because God is stretching your compassion to make room for His. He breaks your heart not to crush you, but to grow you. A heart that never breaks, never learns to love, never learns to intercede. never learns to carry anyone but itself. So when you pray, break my heart for what breaks yours, God answers by expanding your capacity to care, to love, to forgive, to see people through heaven's eyes. He may draw your attention to one person you never noticed before, one wounded soul, one forgotten life. You think it's coincidence. Heaven calls it assignment. He may expose a sin in your life not to shame you, but because he knows it is killing you slowly. Sometimes the first heart that breaks is your own. He may stir a fire in your spirit to pray for someone you don't even know, to weep for a nation you've never visited, to stand in the gap for a family that isn't yours. That's what happens when God places his heartbeat inside you. This prayer will cost you. It will cost your comfort, your indifference, your self-centeredness. But what you gain is something infinitely more beautiful, a heart aligned with heaven, a heart that hears God's whispers in the pain of others, a heart that becomes a safe place for the broken, a heart that carries hope into dark places, a heart that doesn't just believe in Christ, but feels like Christ. And one day you will look back and realize that the tears you cried, the compassion that surprised you, the burden that woke you at night, was God's answer to the prayer you whispered long ago. Because every time you say, "Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours," heaven responds gently, "Then let me give you mine." Prayer 4. Take what's not from you away from me. There is a prayer that sounds simple, almost gentle, yet carries the weight of a spiritual earthquake. Lord, take away anything in my life that is not from you. Most people never pray this honestly, not because they don't trust God, but because they know deep down that such a prayer invites loss. It invites pruning. It invites a holy emptying. But heaven answers it every time, because God refuses to let anything harmful stay in the life of someone he loves. When you speak these words, you are giving God permission to reach into places you don't like to touch. Your attachments, your habits, your relationships, your dreams, your desires, your identity, your comfort. And he begins removing what you could never let go of on your own. At first, it feels like disruption. Something shifts, something breaks, something leaves, something ends. Not because Satan attacked, but because God intervened. You don't realize it immediately. All you feel is the sting of loss. A door closes, a person drifts away, an opportunity collapses, a season dies, and your heart aches. But what you call heartbreak, heaven calls cleansing. What you call rejection, heaven calls protection. What you call loss, heaven calls preparation. Because God removes what is not from him before it has the chance to destroy you. He sees motives you can't see. He hears conversations you weren't in. He knows a future you cannot imagine. He feels the spiritual weight behind things that look harmless. And so, in his mercy, he takes away. Not to punish you, but to preserve you. Sometimes he removes a person who would have broken your spirit. Sometimes he removes a path that would have taken your soul far from him. Sometimes he removes a desire that would have chained you to regret. Sometimes he removes a dream that was never his intention for you. Sometimes he removes a comfort that was slowly becoming an idol. God never removes without a reason. He removes because he sees what you can't see, and he loves in ways you don't yet understand. The pruning hurts, the cutting stings, the empty space feels terrifying. Your hands feel too light after clinging to something for so long. But what you don't see is the garden he is shaping inside you. He takes away so he can make room. Room for peace, room for clarity, room for growth, room for destiny, room for the future you keep praying for. Every removal is a holy exchange. God never subtracts without intending to multiply. He never cuts without planning to bloom. He never empties without preparing to fill. And one day, you will look back at what you lost and realize you didn't lose anything. You were rescued from it, and the space that felt so painful became the very place where God planted something eternal. So every time you whisper, "Lord, take away what's not from you," heaven bends close and answers, "I will, because I love you too much to let it stay." Prayer 5, strengthen my faith. There is a prayer every believer whispers at least once in their life. Sometimes with trembling hands, sometimes with a breaking voice, "Lord, strengthen my faith." It sounds noble, it sounds holy, but very few understand what they are asking for. Because faith does not grow through ease. Faith grows through weight. And heaven always answers this prayer. Because faith is the currency of the kingdom, the anchor of the soul, the shield against darkness, the very thing that connects your heart to God's heart. But to strengthen faith, God must lead you into places where faith is the only thing you have left. When you pray, "Strengthen my faith," God doesn't hand you courage. He gives you opportunities to be courageous. He doesn't hand you trust. He leads you into situations where you must choose trust over panic, over fear, over your own understanding. He doesn't hand you peace. He allows you to face storms so His peace becomes the only steady ground beneath your feet. At first, it feels like everything is falling apart. Doors that once opened easily become heavy. People you relied on become silent. Certainties dissolve. The path ahead turns foggy. You feel abandoned, but you are actually being built because faith isn't strengthened in the sunlight. Faith is strengthened in the valley, where shadows stretch long, where prayers feel unanswered, where nothing makes sense except the character of God. This is where faith learns to breathe, in the night seasons, in the unanswered questions, in the "why God" moments, in the "how long Lord" prayers. And in those moments, faith grows like roots, pushing deeper because there is nowhere else to go. Sometimes God removes what your hands cling to so your heart can cling to Him. Sometimes He shuts every door so you finally see the one door He opened. Sometimes He lets the storm rise so you learn that calm is not the absence of waves, but the presence of Christ in the boat. Faith is strengthened by resistance. Just like muscles require weight, faith requires pressure. Heaven isn't punishing you. Heaven is training you. Training you to stand when fear says run. Training you to trust when feelings collapse. Training you to pray when your strength fades. Training you to believe when nothing around you confirms the promise. Every test is a teacher. Every delay is a sculptor. Every disappointment is a chisel shaping your soul. And one day you will notice the shift. You react differently. You worry less. You trust faster. You surrender sooner. You pray deeper. You stand stronger. Not because life got easier, but because your faith grew wider. And when the next storm comes, you won't fear it, because the last storm taught you who walks on water. This is the gift of the prayer, "Strengthen my faith," a gift that arrives wrapped in difficulty but opens into spiritual authority. And every time you pray it, heaven answers the same way. "I will give you what you need, not to survive this season, but to rise in it." Prayer 6, lead me to your will. There is a prayer that sounds beautiful, yet it is one of the most disruptive, one of the most life-altering requests a human soul can make. Lord, lead me to your will. We imagine this prayer will bring clarity, direction, and peace. But the truth is far more sacred and far more uncomfortable. Because when you pray for God's will, you are giving Him permission to rewrite your plans, redirect your steps, remove your options, and dismantle anything built on your understanding instead of His wisdom. Heaven always answers this prayer, always, but rarely in the way you expect. At first, it may look like confusion. Doors you thought were surely God's will suddenly slam shut. People you relied on seem to drift away. Paths that once felt clear become foggy. Your confidence in your own direction collapses. It feels like losing control, because you are. God will interrupt your comfort before He allows you to walk into the wrong future. He leads you to His will by removing the things that keep you in yours. He may close a door you begged Him to open. He may end a relationship you prayed would last. He may dry up a resource you depended on. He may let your plans fall apart piece by piece, not because He is cruel, but because He loves you too deeply to let you build your life on something too small. God's will is not a single moment. It is a journey, one that bends, shifts, breaks, rebuilds, and transforms you. And when He leads, He does not lead you with explanations. He leads you with adjustments, a closed door, an interrupted plan, a sudden shift, a holy discomfort, a stirring in your spirit that won't go away, a divine no when everything in you wanted a yes. He leads through disruption because disruption grabs your attention when comfort won't. Sometimes He leads by removing peace from the wrong thing. Sometimes He leads by placing peace on the right thing, even when it makes no logical sense. His will is not discovered through logic. It is revealed through surrender, and surrender is not passive. It is trust in motion. It is walking without all the answers. It is obeying before the full picture appears. It is saying yes before you see the ending. It is letting God choose what you would never choose for yourself. His will always require you to leave something behind. Your timeline, your ambition, your pride, your old identity, your illusion of control. But what He leads you toward is always greater than what He leads you away from. God's will is not the easiest road. It is the safest one, the most meaningful one, the only one capable of fulfilling the destiny written over your life before the foundations of the world. And one day, after the confusion, after the tears, after the surrender, you will look back and say, I didn't understand it then, but His will saved me. His will protected me. His will was the only way. Every time you whisper, Lord, lead me to your will, heaven moves the path beneath your feet and answers quietly, I already am. Prayer 7, save my soul above all else. There is one prayer, the most desperate, the most sacred, the most powerful prayer a human being can ever speak. Lord, save my soul above all else. This is the prayer heaven responds to faster than any other. Because everything God does, everything Christ suffered, every battle angels fight, every whisper of the Holy Spirit is for this one purpose, the saving of your soul. When you pray this, you are not asking for comfort or success or blessing. You are asking for eternity. You are asking for life itself. And heaven does not hesitate. The moment this prayer forms in your heart, before it ever reaches your lips, something shifts in the unseen realm. Angels lean in. Chains begin to loosen. The grip of darkness weakens. The old accusations lose their power. The record of sin trembles. Hell takes a step back. Because this is the one prayer hell cannot stop, cannot twist, cannot silence. It is the cry heaven has been waiting for. But when God answers, His answer is not always gentle. Sometimes salvation begins with breaking. Sometimes rescue begins with exposure. Sometimes redemption begins with the collapse of the very life you built without Him. Because God is not trying to fix your life. He is trying to save it. To save your soul, He may strip away the illusions that kept you blinded. He may tear down the idols you held too tightly. He may confront the sin you learned to excuse. He may expose the wounds you buried so deeply you forgot they were there, not to shame you, but to free you. A soul cannot be saved until it stops pretending it doesn't need saving. So he brings you to holy emptiness, holy desperation, holy hunger. And then, when your heart finally whispers, "God, I can't save myself," heaven responds with the power of the cross. Forgiveness rushes in like a flood. Mercy washes over every failure, every darkness, every secret you thought disqualified you forever. Salvation is not a reward, it is a rescue. Not because you are good, but because He is. Not because you deserve it, but because Christ already paid for it. And God does not save halfway. He saves completely. He saves deeply. He saves eternally. He lifts your soul out of the pit where shame kept you chained. He breaks the lies spoken over you. He rewrites your destiny. He seals you with His Spirit. He places His name over your life, His ownership, His protection, His love. Your past loses authority. Your sin loses its voice. Your mistakes lose their power. Your soul becomes His. And even when you feel weak, even when you stumble, even when you fall again, He does not let you go. Because the prayer, "Save my soul above all else," is not a moment. It is a covenant sealed by the blood of Christ, guarded by angels, sustained by grace, and carried by a God who refuses to lose you. And one day when your eyes close for the last time, heaven will remember this prayer. And a hand stronger than death will take yours and say, "You asked me to save your soul, and I kept you forever." There comes a moment in every believer's life when they look back and realize something sacred. God was answering long before they ever learned how to listen. Every tear, every quiet prayer whispered in the dark, every moment you thought heaven was silent, none of it was wasted. None of it was ignored. Because God is not the God of delayed responses. He is the God of perfect timing. And these 7 prayers, like the ones your soul whispered, the ones you barely understood, the ones you spoke through trembling breath, they awakened movements in heaven you could not see. He was shaping you when you thought He was breaking you. He was guiding you when you thought you were lost. He was protecting you when you thought you were being rejected. He was strengthening you when life felt too heavy to carry. He was saving you when you thought you were slipping away. Every no, every wait, every door that closed, every path that shifted wasn't heaven withholding anything from you. It was heaven preparing you for what you weren't ready to receive. These 7 prayers are not magic formulas. They are spiritual lifelines. They realign your heart with God's heart. They turn your eyes toward eternity. They awaken the version of you that heaven always knew you could become. So if tonight you feel unheard, if your prayers seem unanswered, if silence surrounds you like a fog, remember this: God's silence is never absence. His stillness is never inactivity, and His timing is never late. He is closer than your breath, kinder than your fears, stronger than anything trying to break you. And the prayers you prayed, the honest ones, the painful ones, the trembling ones, have already reached Him. He is moving. He is answering. He is shaping. He is saving. And long after this moment passes, long after this season shifts, you will look back and say, "God heard me, even when I didn't notice."